3 lifelong friends, 6 trusty balls, and endless NFL takes. Welcome to 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast.
Welcome to episode 24 of 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. Today we're joined by a special guest from Bear Den Live. He is joining us today to talk about the Chicago Bears. And so today he's joining us. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about Will's favorite team, the Chicago Bears.
Yay! They're one of the 32. You know what? Hold on, though. Before we get too far into this, at least they have an owner, unlike the Packers. Okay? You've got that going for you over the Packers. You have an actual head of your team. Okay, anyway, continue.
And he's not Jerry Jones. So
yeah, he's not Jerry
Jones. You're winning.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and start us off just by letting everybody know where they can find you on social media and just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you kind of got started with your coverage of the Bears.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys again for having me. Like always, go Bears. But you guys can find my socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, I guess X, just Bear Den Live, BearDenLive. And you know, my love for the Bears has always been. I'm 23 years old and pushing 24, so always been a Bears fan. Grew up in Chicagoland area, sitting not too far from Soldier Field, so always been a Bears fan and just continuing my my pain, but you know, got high hopes. I know Will's not going to want to hear that, but I've got high hopes this year, so I'm looking forward to it. And I started off just doing some videos on TikTok, and it took me to a route like we're here right now. So thanks again for y'all for having me. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Will, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, you're on the show with 2 Cowboys fans and a freelancer over there in Avery. I don't know if Joe or I have said a single good thing about the Cowboys in 23 episodes. It's number 24. So at least you have high hopes. All right. So at least you've got that. So there's that.
Because we sure don't.
No.
I would
5 and 12. Here we go. 5 and 12.
If I was a Cowboys fan too, man, 5 and 12 is still generous. I'm giving you that, man. I think 5 and 12 is still generous.
Well,
no Micah, nothing.
That's fair. Hey, maybe Micah will be a Bear. You never know.
I would do anything to get Micah to be in Chicago, man. I'm
anything?
Anything.
Trade Caleb.
No, okay. All right.
Okay,
now I think anything was a little too much on my end. I don't know if I can get away my.
But in exchange, you can get one of the top paid quarterbacks in the league, Dak Prescott.
Top paid quarterback. Yeah,
not one of the top paid quarterback.
The top.
$60 million a year.
You got a crazy
until the next guy signs a contract, and then he's got the next.
No,
highest.
People have signed since Dak, and none of them have been that high.
Yeah, I know, but it's just a matter of just time before someone else eclipses that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the world records in the Olympics. Like every 4 years, we got new guys.
But we thought
there's always a notification.
Mahomes, right, his 10-year, $500 million contract. Oh, this is the new thing. And then no one else followed suit. Now the Chiefs are paid heroes because they're paying that guy a nickel to win a Super Bowl every year.
Crazy.
Hey, when it's Caleb's turn, he'll get paid $61 million.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I think in 2 years, he'll be the highest paid quarterback. If, I don't know about Dakota Prescott, if he's still going to get an extension. I don't know what Jerry Jones likes to do, but,
Wow.
Not
I
pay
hope he does
defensive
sign
player,
the
that's
highest.
for sure.
If he signs the highest, that means he's the best, right?
He is going to be the best.
Right.
He will be.
Obviously.
Dak's the best,
Obviously.
right?
All right. Well, if you guys are Bears fans, or even if you're not, if you want to just see some good NFL content and some Bears content, go follow Bear Den Live on his social media platforms. And again, thank you for coming on with us today. It's good to have you. And I'm excited to talk about the Bears. So before we talk about the Bears, we are going to talk about something else. We're actually going to talk about which late round draft pick from the 2025 draft could emerge into a prominent role for their team this season. And so as our guest, why don't you go ahead and get us started? Who do you think is going to be a late round rookie from the 2025 draft who could have a big role for their team?
Yeah, man. I love this. I think I really like this question just because with no bias aside, like I'm putting all my bias aside, I'm going to go Kyle Monungai. I know you guys are going to be like, oh, it's so biased, the Bears guy, but
Will's like, I don't even know who that is.
I could not tell. I couldn't even pronounce that guy's name, let alone know who he is.
Don't worry. It took me a second to pronounce his name too. Don't worry. No, he's a 7th round pick out of Rutgers, the running back in the Bears running back room. And honestly, he runs like Isaiah Pacheco, and it's a coincidence that Isaiah Pacheco was taken in the 7th round by the Chiefs and also went to Rutgers and is now emerging as the RB1 on his team. And the Bears and Ryan Poles did the same thing with Kyle Monangai. I took him in the 7th round. And from what I've seen at training camp and practice and everything in general, he runs literally like he's wearing big feet and he's stomping through a wall. He is what we want, and he is a horsepower, like workhorse running back that if DeAndre Swift was to ever get hurt or Roshan seems to be dealing with an injury right now, he will emerge as, the running back one. And I wouldn't be surprised if in a year or two he is our starting running back like Isaiah Pacheco took over that role at the Chiefs. So late round pick, super late, but he's a dog. He's got that dog mentality.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I like the late round running backs because I feel like there's always a late round running back who just comes out of nowhere, like
Yeah.
we're not expecting, and they end up doing really well. Like, kind of a good example would be Alvin Kamara for the Saints. He was a 5th round pick, I believe, and he just came out of nowhere. Like, nobody expected him to do that. But just looking at Monangai's stats here, so the last 2 seasons, he had over 1,200 rushing yards. He averaged over 5 yards a carry, and he had 13 touchdowns this last year and 8 touchdowns the year before. So the last 2 years, he's been very good for Rutgers. So I actually like that pick. I think that's a really good pick, and that'd be exciting to see a 7th-rounder to another 7th-round running back to step up in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes against kind of what running backs are hoping for because they like the first round.
Yeah.
The first round running backs, they like to be paid, but when you can find a guy in the 7th round, it's kind of
Yeah.
like you don't really need to. So it
Exactly.
kind of goes against what the running backs want, but it is kind of cool to see those late round picks, especially at the running back position to step up like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick.
Thanks.
Anything else you want to say about him?
No, I think I'll just follow up on you. I think the running back position is one of the most easily replaceable positions in the NFL that we can have. So, having him as even depth, I think is great. It's good for the Bears. So,
All right, cool. So Avery, why don't you go next? Who is a late round pick that you think will emerge into a prominent role for their team this year?
I want to start off by saying that I think, kind of going off what Bearden was talking about, I think a lot of those running backs end up having a better shot at getting good playing time. And I think it's mainly because, I think a lot of people agree, running backs have very short shelf life. But when they're not taking that weekly pounding on the field every Sunday, I think it helps the duration a bit. And so then at that point, you're gotten a little bit more used to the scheme. More used to, basically everything you need to know. And then so when you do come in, you are still fresh, you're still young. So I think a lot of the running backs that I was looking at, I feel like, I'm like, honestly, it's just one of those things. You just put them in the right situation. I mean, it's not like you forget how to run when you get drafted. That being said, I picked a wide receiver. I picked Alec Iomanner. This is a homer pick for me. I think that guy is insane. I watched him when the Pac-12 still existed. I guess it still kind of does. The Pac-2 or something. I don't know what it is now. They don't even talk about it. Poor Washington State and Oregon State just stuck there. But he played at Stanford. Dude cooked everybody. I mean, this guy looked like Larry Fitzgerald out there. I was surprised when he dropped this far. I think he should have been a lot higher, but maybe teams didn't have that need. But I think right now he's listed at like wide receiver 4 right now, so I don't think he's going to get much playing time. But I think if any of these guys go down, I think if Tyler Lockett gets touched before he slides, I think he could get hurt, and then Alec can come in. I think it's just one of those things where, especially with Cam Ward, I think a lot of eyes are going to be on Alec if he does come in. I just think he's got a lot of big play potential. And I'm excited to see how he develops.
Yeah, he was actually one of the guys that we had ranked in our top 50 big board for the NFL draft. So we had him ranked a lot higher than a lot of other people did. But if you look at when he played at Stanford, their whole offensive scheme was just not a good fit for him. And it just wasn't a passing offense that fit what he does. And so I think especially with a rookie quarterback, the Titans are probably going to be losing a lot, so they're going to throw the ball a lot. I think he's going to have a lot of opportunity So I really like that pick as well, Avery. He's a guy that I was really high on, you were really high on, and I think we were just all really high on collectively. But yeah, Faison, how do you feel about Io Manor? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do like what Avery said about if Tyler Lockett goes down, I think he steps up in a big role. Considering Tyler Lockett's age too, I think that it's good that they picked him up. It's he'll sit at the bottom of the depth chart just for the time being. Like you said, I think WR4 right now. But injuries happen, and I do know that Tyler Lockett is getting of that age. So you did say if he gets even touched before he goes down, that man is not he's not coming back the next day. So I think he has big shoes to fill, but I think if you give those types of players that opportunity, I think it's a big opportunity for them to step up and kind of show out who they are and why they were taken the way they were. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Will, who you got?
I met a guy who, man, nobody watched him in college, right? Not a single person watched him. Colorado State play college football. No,
Is it
really
Horton?
It is Torrey Horton. Hey, good job.
Don't worry, I watched
Maybe you
him.
watched Colorado State play college football. I certainly did not. I also didn't watch him at Nevada. But he is currently listed as wide receiver 2 on their depth chart. They've got Cooper Kupp.
Is he?
Yeah, they've got Cooper Kupp listed in the slot. So who really is wide receiver 2 is up in the air. But still, you've got Jackson Smith and Jigba, who, I mean, he's going to be their guy this year. But the problem is you've got Sam Darnold, who has to prove it wasn't just a fluke. And so he's going to have to sling the ball around left, right, and center. Everyone's going to have to be open. Everyone's going to have to be heavily involved. I think Torrey Horton, I do believe he was in the 5th round this year. They got good value out of him. I think that he's going to be at 6'2". He's a big body. We know the Seattle Seahawks love to throw the ball on the 1-yard line. So he's going to be there for them for that.
All right, yeah. I don't know if you guys watched any of his preseason highlights, but he had a pretty good, at least one game I watched. He had a pretty good game in one of the preseason games. I know it's just preseason, but still, he showcases a little bit of what he can do. And I think with those two receivers, with Kupp and with JSN, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for somebody else to step up. So I think that's a really good pick as well. Do you guys have any thoughts on Torrey Horton?
I don't know about him being wide receiver 2 on that depth chart. I'm really high on JSN this year too. I've been out of college. I think he's a stud. His separation is really good. And Cooper Kupp, we know what he can do. Yeah, he's getting older, and yeah, he didn't get the contract he wanted with the Rams, but I don't know. Again, with these rookie wide receivers, it's really tough. It's either a hit or miss, no matter where they're taken. Either they're taken the 1st round or the 7th round. It doesn't matter. They're a really big hit or miss at that position, just because there's so many mouths to feed. But it just all depends on Sam Darnold too. Like Will said, if he can prove that it wasn't a fluke, then I'll give him a couple of games in the beginning. But if that offense struggles, then it's going to be really hard to root for, or not root, but consider upside on those types of players.
Yeah. Do you guys think that it was a fluke for Sam Darnold? Do you think it was a fluke for Sam Darnold?
I don't know if it was a fluke, right? Because a broken clock's right twice a year or twice a day. Excuse me. Rex Grossman took the Bears to the Super Bowl. Okay, so you don't have to be good all the time. You just have to be good at the right time. So, I didn't. That is my default below average quarterback that did really well. That's just it had nothing to do with having a Bears fan on. I have said that multiple times on the show.
He's mentioned him
It
several
is just
times,
my
yeah.
default go-to. Sometimes the quarterback doesn't matter as much, but also average to below average quarterbacks can have really good seasons with a well-built team and go really, really far. So, taking nothing away from that Bears team as a whole, but Rex Grossman specifically.
I don't know. I think he's a very systematic quarterback. He was in Kevin O'Connell, one of the best coaches. I will admit it too, from a Bears fan. Kevin O'Connell is one of the best coaches the NFL has recently seen. You got your McVays, you got all those guys, but I think O'Connell is a very systematic quarterback, and I don't have any hopes in JJ McCarthy. I don't want anybody to twist my words on this, but I do think it was a fluke just because it was a very good system, and losing Pete Carroll for the Seahawks is a big gap to fill. But I guess we'll see.
Oh, Will, you guys agree?
Yeah, if you want to hit on JJ on this show, Will is all for that. So
Oh, good, great.
go Go right ahead.
I'll slander any NFC North quarterback besides Caleb. So, if you got anybody else, Jordan, you got Goff, I'm here for it, man.
All right. So for my late round rookie who could step into a prominent role this year, I went with a homer pick. I went with Dallas Cowboys running back Jaden Blue out of Texas.
I almost went with him and went, I bet Joel picks him. I'm going to pick somebody else.
Yeah. And so the reason I went with him is because at the combine, he ran a 4.38. And at his pro day, he ran a sub 4.3. Now, one thing the Dallas Cowboys have not had in I don't know how long is speed on that offense. The only player they have with speed is Kevontae Turpin, who runs a 4.31. Everybody else isn't considered fast. So these are the players that are listed as their starters on their depth chart. Or, well, no, they're not all starters, but some of them backups, but guys who will play on their depth chart. And these are their 40 times. So the guys on their depth chart who their 40 times who will play is Javonte Williams. He ran a 4.57. Miles Sanders ran a 4.49. CeeDee Lamb runs a 4.51. George Pickens is a 4.47. Jalen Tolbert is a 4.49. Jake Ferguson is a 4.81. And then Jonathan Mingo is a 4.46. So the only fast player you have is Turpin. So what do you do when you have speed? Especially when you draft a guy who has speed. Do you put him on the bench and just not use him? If you're the Dallas Cowboys, probably. But what should you do is you should use it. You should use his speed. And whether it's as a receiver, as a running back, as a returner, however you want to use this guy, just use his speed. And so I think that, especially with the questions that the Cowboys have at the running back position, there's no like clear-cut guy who's going to take over and be that workhorse back for the Cowboys. I think that Jaden Blue can step into a prominent role for the Cowboys this year, especially as it goes more and more into the season, because I think he's going to showcase that he has the ability to make explosive plays.
It's also very possible that Dak gets hurt week 3, week 4.
Week 2?
Or week 1, you know.
Week 1.
Or before the season starts.
Well, I feel like week 1 versus the Eagles, I feel like that's very fitting. And so we're going to put Joe Milton in, which is great. The dude can throw a ball 100 yards with on half a step. Problem is he can't throw the ball 1 yard, okay? A 1 yard throws a 100-yard throw, and a 100-yard throws, it just goes. He just throws it really, really far every single time. And so we're going to have to run the ball a lot. And as we've seen with Christian McCaffrey, who also gets hurt from being a workhorse, you're going to need a slew of backs. So I agree. He could get some prominent time in there, given the possible trajectory of the Dallas Cowboys.
Possible trajectory.
That's my positive spin.
Yeah, real positive. Thank you for throwing that in there. All right. Well, now it's time to talk about the Chicago Bears, the reason why we have our guest on today. So to start here, Faison, do you want to start with some warm-up questions, or do you want to start off hot?
Let's go hot, man.
Look at this, man. Of course we're starting hot.
Let's go.
Okay, here we go. So I told you I had a surprise question for you.
Okay.
So here's my surprise question. So you are on record saying that the Chicago Bears are not only going to win their division,
Ooh, he knows it.
to win the Super Bowl this year.
This year?
Where's the tattoo? Where'd you put the tattoo?
But hold on. Can we show it on the show?
Not right now.
Okay.
Subscribe to our Patreon. You can see exactly where it is.
There it is.
Okay. So my question for you is, have you ever felt this way about any other Bears team? And if so, why is this team different from those teams?
So you want me to be you want me to be honest, or you want me to not be honest?
We want you to be rational with your irrational take.
Irrational take. Okay. Have I ever felt this way about any other Bears team? Yes. I'll admit it. I'll be honest.
Every year.
Yep. Every year. Every year since I was born, I have felt this way. But.
This is what happens when you're still 24 years old. You're 24 years old. You haven't been turned enough time yet.
He's still 23.
Almost 24. Okay. The rest of us are 32 or almost 32. It is just another decade on top of it of just getting burnt time after time after time. You'll get there, son. Don't worry.
I probably will. I'll
I
be
still
getting there.
remember that. I still remember that Bears Colts Super Bowl.
There you go.
2007?
2006.
Well,
This-
yes. So 2006 season, January 2007. Yes.
Same thing. Same difference.
yes,
Same
yes,
thing.
yes.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing.
I think Bearden's going to talk about Ben Johnson here.
You think so?
I think you should.
You got it. You got it. No. I felt this way every year, but I will say, like Avery said, this year is different because we have got a competent coach. Everybody's seen it. We have a competent coach. We have a competent quarterback that has made significant improvement. And the vibes at like Hallis Hall and Soldier Field, everything just feels so put together. The ownership, the GM, the players, everybody's just on the same page. And I just feel like the vibes have never been this high. And I hope I hope I'm not getting mistaken for this every other year, but this year, this is the year. All right, guys, this is the year. You heard it. This is the year.
So can we just go ahead and pencil you in for December 29th, in between Christmas and New Year's, and we'll do a in-the-season check-in on the Cowboys and the Bears?
We'll compare
Actually,
our
could be
records
good.
and see who's the depressed one. Maybe we're both depressed by then, but
Maybe. What do you mean maybe?
No, Will and I already know we're going to be
Listen,
depressed. So
You're going to be depressed. You're saying this is our year. I'm going in 5-12, baby. Here we come, 5-12.
hey, man, it takes a lot of grit to be doing that. It takes a lot of grit to say that, but
Yeah,
I
that's-
can't.
That's the difference between early 20s, early 30s. Is I show up depressed, pal. You show up happy still.
Will and Joel are like, dude,
This
we're
is
32-year-old
all from a
Cowboys
Cowboys
fans.
fan. This is all from a Cowboys fan. Like, I want everybody to hear that this is all
Oh.
coming from Cowboys fans.
This is not new. People who have seen this show one time know we rag on the Cowboys the most.
Yeah, coming from Will and Joel, who are 32-year-old Cowboys fans, they've been depressed so long. What's depression? This is
Yeah,
their life. There is no
Yeah.
sadness. It's
it
just
sucks.
it's what it is. You're
yeah, it is
24,
what
you'll
it
get
is.
there. You'll get there.
Not after
You know
this
what?
year. Not
Keep-
after this year.
keep
We're,
your
we're,
spirit
we're,
up,
we're going.
baby,
We're
yeah.
going on the uphill. We're
Keep
taking
that
the, we're
spirit
taking the
for as
ride up.
long as
Yeah.
possible.
We're taking the ferry up, man.
Keep that positivity up. I like it. All right, so we're going to stay hot here with the next question. So Will has openly hated on Caleb Williams several times on
Yep.
this show.
I've heard it.
Avery and I have said some good things about Caleb Williams. We also said some bad things about Caleb Williams, but we have said some good things.
Okay.
But I want you to give Will your best comeback as to why he should change his mind as to why Caleb Williams is a bad quarterback. Avery and I hate on Will all the time and tell him he's wrong. Now we want you to join us and tell Will why he is wrong.
He's a good quarterback because he paints his fingernails. That's all you need to know. No, I'm just kidding.
That
Hey,
would
Okay, now you're
was
2 steps
probably
back.
the-
So 3rd and 18 now. Go ahead.
shit. Better than 3rd and 20. All right. Why
That
is
is
Caleb-
23-year-old optimism right there. They're 20.
Dang, man.
At least I still have
like
my help.
knows Caleb. Like, what did Caleb do to Will, man? I want to know this. I want to know the history behind this. What has gone wrong with you and Caleb?
Nothing personally. It's all just professional
Yeah.
stuff, right? You get it.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I think I'm not gonna sit here and write a whole bibliography as to why my quarterback is the best quarterback in the NFC North, and if not in the entire NFL. But I'll leave you with this. For the situation that man was put in with a head coach being fired midseason, mind you, the Bears have never done that in their entire franchise that they've had this. They have never fired a coach midseason because they are so traditional. For having your head coach fired midseason, having a incompetent, dumb offensive coordinator who never watched film with him and was out doing God knows what, and for almost throwing 3,700 yards as a rookie and having no interceptions in the last 6 to 7 weeks of his rookie year, it's got to take a lot of hate in you to hate on a guy like that. You put your Dakota Prescott in that situation, he's not surviving that. Nobody's surviving that.
No, and I
You're
hate
gonna
him
say
just as
Jaden
much.
Daniels, huh?
I hate him just as much. I'm a Dak Prescott fan. He's
to be
hard on that one.
Will hates pretty much everybody. So
I am the local hater on this show. I just think
I
that
love it. I love
this
it.
week
I love
went-
it. That's
I
what you
hate a
need.
lot of people, don't I?
He's our NFL Sith. He just
Yeah,
lets the hate flow through
He's
him.
he's like one of
Every
those
time.
guys on Twitter with those burner accounts, like just always dogging on that one quarterback. And I've probably been in my
Yeah.
mentions so many times too with his burner account. But no, I think he's a good quarterback, man. You have got to see his anticipation too from that preseason game last week. He's made significant improvements, and I'm not saying he's perfect. He still had his hiccups on that second drive. I know it. I saw it, but he's significantly got a lot better. And the hate that he's getting, I think it only just fuels him more. And I think this Ben Johnson effect will. I'll talk to you by like week 6 or 7. You will agree with me. So yeah, we'll check in then.
okay, I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
And this is about your social media post that you put out today. So
Just
you were
grilling
talking,
him.
yeah, you were talking about the preseason game between the Bears and the Chiefs, and you put
Yeah.
up a picture of Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes, and you said it's going to be the GOAT versus Patrick Mahomes. Do you truly believe that Caleb Williams will be the greatest quarterback of all time?
He is the greatest quarterback of all time. And he is the greatest quarterback the Chicago Bears have ever seen. Yes, he will.
That's probably already true.
It is.
That
It
last
is.
part, the second part.
We looked that up already.
yeah.
It's probably true.
Both parts.
What about Rex Grossman?
Oh, Will have something to say about that, but
We got Kyle Orton, Jake Plummer.
oh my god, dude, we've been through so many. You guys are saying all these names. I'm like, god damn, man.
Hey, you can't forget about Cutler.
No,
Jake
no, he's the
Cutler.
best quarterback. He's the second best quarterback the Bears have ever had. It goes Caleb, then Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler's the second best quarterback
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bears have ever had.
It's
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, can't forget about the Nickelodeon MVP. I love Mitch, man. He got for the hate he deserves too, man. It's sad. I was happy to see him, but your question, following up with your question, I think the GOAT is Caleb. He is the GOAT. Will be the GOAT for the Chicago Bears and the NFL in general. And Patrick Mahomes, yeah, if you guys want to throw him in the mix, that's fine too. But the first is always going to be Caleb. And these quarterbacks don't get taken first overall for no reason, right? Like we obviously see something in him. We know we have confidence in the kid. It's just now it's every puzzle piece is coming together, and the cookie's never going to crumble the wrong way after this quarterback. So I know Will's like he's getting mad, like clenching his fist, like damn.
No. I'm just you said you're gonna get taken first overall for nothing. I'm just thinking Jamarcus Russell. But that's fine.
Oh,
you
God.
keep doing your thing, right?
He went deep in his bag to get that one out, didn't he? He went to the bottom of the bag to pick that one out.
Will said,
32. That's midway through the bag. That's midway through the bag.
You don't understand
He's
the depth of my hate, sir.
he's like Santa Claus over here. He's got infinite things in his bag.
I can
Don't
tell,
touch
man.
Cole.
Will did say last week on our show that he was going to spend the entire week studying the Bears and why they were bad. So I expect him to have a full bag here.
Yeah, his hater watch is going deep in his bag. I'm here. I want to
Hey,
hear
you
it.
know what? Hate watching is still views. Okay.
It is. It is.
All right. So next question. So let's talk a little bit about Ben Johnson.
Uh-huh.
And I know you've kind of already mentioned him a little bit, but as someone who has seen what Ben Johnson can do against your team with the Lions,
Oh, yeah.
how do you think he's going to do as the head coach of the Chicago Bears? Because in 3 years with the Lions, the Bears went 1-5 against his team, and the offense for Ben Johnson averaged 28.8 points per game in those 6 games. So how do you think he's going to do as the head coach of the Bears, as someone who has seen what he can do against the Bears?
He's going to annihilate any defense, and I want every viewer to know that Ben Johnson will be a menace to the NFL. And knowing what he's put us through, like those trick plays that he put out on Thanksgiving versus us, it was uncalled for. And in the moment, I was so annoyed. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, Jared Goff literally fell on the ground. And it was just the goofiest thing I've seen. And knowing that now that is our prized possession as a Bears fan, that we have that creative skill set and mindset in a head coach for the first time ever, I know that what he's carried on from the Lions will only carry on to the Bears, and if not, it will be better than the Lions. And I know Jameer Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown sat down with Kay Adams a few days ago, and she asked him the same questions, and they were even like startled. They were like, "Oh my god! Like the offense was so good. Like it seemed good watching them." And that just shows the impact that he had on the Lions, because the Lions' only success was because of Ben Johnson. And if I know a lot of people are like, oh, Dan Campbell this, Dan Campbell that. No, Dan Campbell did not have that thug and mindset and creative skill set that Ben Johnson had. And now that he's on the Bears, he will only revamp that for us.
So follow-up question to that. So Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator for 3 seasons with the Detroit Lions. In his first season, the Lions went 9-8. And it was really only the last 2 seasons that the Lions have been like really, really good and, made the playoffs and won their division and all that. So do you think it's going to take a little bit of time, or are you pretty confident it's going to be right now, like this year?
It'll be this Friday. I know it's going to be this Friday versus the Chiefs too. That confidence, everything will show out. It doesn't. It's not like he's never been in the NFL. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. I know everybody knows what he's doing. He's carried the Detroit Lions on his back for the 3-4 seasons, whatever he was there for. He's carried that load, and all he has to do now is just unleash the part that no one's ever seen. And it's amazing that he has the generational quarterback that we have in Caleb Williams. So
let me ask. I like Ben Johnson. I want to say that he went to Carolina. He's a Carolina guy. I saw that presser of him basically like what I imagined if I was one of the Bears players that was there for the paycheck. I'd be like, shit, like we're going to have to work. Like I saw one of the players say like, no, if coach tells you to do something and you mess up, like you get one shot. If you mess up again, you're done. You're done for training camp. You're done. Mm-hmm. So I can see that on one hand, like working, but also in my view might be skewed because I'm more of a college football guy. But that extra effort, that feels like more of a college thing, because in college you don't have anything. You're working to get something. Whereas in professional football, this is your job. You're looking to maintain your job. So it's like, you got to do what you got to do. Some guys are looking to be great. A lot of guys are looking to keep their job. I'm curious if there is a chance that has a possibility of backfiring, meaning there are some guys that just either don't buy in, they're not prepared, or he's running too tight a ship where a program like the Bears, and I am kind of comparing it to the Minnesota Timberwolves of a few years ago. I don't know. This is my basketball little Family Guy moment where I'm taking it somewhere else, but they had a bunch of guys that didn't work very hard. Yeah. And then Jimmy Butler came in there and he's like, these guys are slacking. And it basically, like, that whole team basically got reset because they just realized they had an entire culture of just kind of slacking, and it required cleaning house. Now the Bears have kind of cleaned house a little bit, and you did mention like there does seem to be this like, new energy there. However, I could also see that since there hasn't been any games yet, a lot of that is based on pure optimism, not necessarily, we've seen good stuff. Because I would say even in the preseason, we're going to see, some greatness here. I would say I don't even think that is the rubric for success here. You're not trying to find success in this, the score here, the plays they run. You're trying to figure out personnel so that you can hit it week 1.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if, and I know the answer I'm gonna get because you're clearly a ride or die Bears fan, but I'm just curious. This feels like something where it's kind of high risk, high reward. Like you're redlining this.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that? I guess because I know how you see it's gonna go. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. What's the floor here? Give me a scenario.
Hold on, before you go, let me give you 2 examples to support Avery's case. One, Chip Kelly in the Eagles, right? He came in the Eagles, tried to run it like a college team, didn't work. Got moved around a couple spots, had to go back to college. Now he's back in the NFL as a coordinator. And 2, arguably the greatest college coach in history, arguably, Nick Saban. Went to the Dolphins, went to the Browns, went around the league a little bit, and went right back to college because it wasn't the same. You don't have the same control. So,
Yeah.
with that in
I
mind,
do- Yeah, with what Will said, that is one thing for sure. And I would say that's the college thing. Fortunately, this guy's been in the NFL. However, this is his first time
Yeah.
at the reins.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
So-
I'll let you go. What's worst case scenario here?
I know you guys were talking about college and you're talking about the NBA, but if it wasn't to work, I think we'd already see signs. So right now, we would see these signs really early on, where in the preseason, and I've been at training camp multiple times, and I've seen the culture change. It is not a culture that is like you don't work hard and you get thrown out. I know that was something that was said on the media. It's not that they're throwing him out for the entire training camp. It's like if you're not working hard enough, you're not sprinting as fast as you can, then you're gonna get talked to. And I think that's a good sign of coaching that the Bears have never had, because we've always had that culture of you can lollygag and you can not work as hard, but you'll still get around because the organization and the coaches don't care as long as they're just getting by and they're getting that paycheck, right? And we've seen that with multiple times with the Bears. We've seen multiple head coaches get recycled and just kind of we're taking like everybody's scraps. But now with Ben Johnson, it's like you know how hard he can work, and then that's up to his players now. If you want to be on his team, you know you have to work hard. And everybody has off days, and I've seen that at training camp too. Not everyone's gonna have a perfect day, but he understands that if you listen to the guy talk, like he understands that what he does in his first year is not gonna be sunshine and rainbow. It's gonna take a lot of time to adapt, and it's gonna be a lot of trial and error. So to answer your question, I know that it's gonna take a lot of time, and all delusion and bias aside, I know it's not going to click right away. It's not going to be week one where we see Caleb throw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's going to take time for all his players to develop skill wise, mental wise, and physically. And we've seen the improvements from past coaches, but the perfect scenario is yes, everything clicking. But I know deep down that it is a sport that involves everybody. And it's not just Ben Johnson, it's his, coaching staff, it's his players, it's the organization, it's the owners, everybody coming together on the same page, and it's going to take time, but once it does click, it will show out that the Bears will, dominate this league for a couple of years now.
Up until that very last part, I agree.
Yeah.
Just that very, very last part, yeah.
Yeah.
You do not like the Bears on this show, Joey.
You said like Bears dominate the league for a few years. I was like, whoa.
That doesn't sound right.
Not even a few years. I'm saying I'm gonna say like for
Say
like
now.
at least like 7-10 years for sure.
Okay. 5-12 to
Okay.
12-5. 5-12, just flip it. This year just flip it. 12-5.
All right. You think they're gonna lose 5 games? Wow, I
Oh.
thought you had more faith in your Bears, man.
12 is a good amount. We'll see this.
That's healthy.
We'll go through it. We'll go through it at the end
We'll
of the
go
show.
17
Yeah,
and 0. How's
enough to
that?
win the
Avery,
division.
17 and 0. 17 and 0.
Okay, there we go.
17 and 0.
All right. So next question for you. So the Bears made 8 draft picks in the 2025 NFL draft. You've already talked about one of those picks as a rookie who could step into a prominent role. But which of the Bears draft picks do you think will have the biggest impact on the team this year?
I'm going to say Colson Loveland. I know you guys, we talked about offense earlier, but when he first got drafted, I will say I wasn't super high on Loveland because you have Tyler Warren, you have everybody else, and you know that we have struggles in the trenches, which they kind of got rid of that problem early on before the draft with the signings of, everybody that we got on the O-line. But I think Loveland is a very sneaky good guy. He can block like a very traditional tight end. He can move like a very traditional George Kittle, and his yards after catch and his ability to make plays is very much like George Kittle. He is a mini George Kittle, not mini physically wise, but in terms of playing and, age and all that, he is a mini George Kittle, and he will make that big impact that Caleb needs from not only just catching a ball, but the blocking. We've seen a lot of struggles with our Bears players blocking, especially Cole Kmet. He's had that struggle last year. And I think with Loveland now, with his physicality and his IQ, he will make that big impact and help Caleb make that leap for this year.
All right. So Avery actually said when we were leading up to the draft, Avery was studying Colson Loveland, and he actually said that his potential, it's not out of the question for him to be on the same level as George Kittle.
Oh, there you go.
So that was actually a good comparison.
Yeah.
Avery, do
He's
you have
also on
anything to
my-
say?
He's gonna.
He's
disagree
also on
with me.
my top 10 tight end list.
There you go. There you go.
I think he's gonna have a good season. I don't like the Bears. I like to crap on the Bears. I don't like your colors. I don't like your logos.
Shapers.
I will say the hat looks pretty clean. The hat
Thanks,
looks
man.
pretty clean.
Thank you,
Just
man.
not a big fan of just the intense orange and the dark
Yeah.
muted blue. It's just,
Yeah.
but that's irrelevant. But I do think Caleb Williams. I think he was in a bad position last year. I think he's
Yeah.
going to do better. I think Colson Loveland's going to do a lot better. I do think Ben Johnson is going to carry that team. I guess my thing is more just the other teams in that division
Yeah.
are going to be tough. And so it's one of those things where I'm honestly, more than anything, I think it's going to be pretty even. I think it's going to be a dogfight in there. I think Green Bay will end up in last. I don't think you'll end up first, but I think Green Bay will be
Let's
last.
go. I love that, man.
Ooh, that's what a Bears fan wants to hear right there.
Yeah. All day. All day.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys don't like Green Bay. I didn't
I
even
don't
say
like
that for you. I just genuinely think they're going to end up last. But no, I think I am excited to see where that goes. But I do think Loveland. I think he will, as much as I think he can contribute now. I think he's one of those guys that steadily improves.
Yeah.
For the next 4 to 5 years, with just that slight step every time. But yeah,
Love it. I agree.
Will, did you have anything to say?
It should be noted, I also had Colston Loveland on my top 10 tight ends. And I do
Which
believe
was
that.
but he hated it. He choked when he
It
said
took
it.
everything in him not to write that down. It was like shaking. He's like,
Exactly.
no.
Look, I did say it because bad quarterbacks need safety blankets. I do believe there was
there it
something
is.
about Caleb Williams needing a binky in his safety bubble or something like that. Oh no, that was TJ Hawkins.
That was JJ McCarthy.
Yeah,
that was
JJ McCarthy. Right. You know what? I'll give you that. Caleb Williams will be better this year than JJ McCarthy. Okay, I can confidently say that.
That's a known fact. I don't even need reassurance. That's a known fact.
Well,
That is a known fact.
that is the nicest thing I'll say about Caleb Williams this show. He will be better than JJ McCarthy with less weapons. So there's that.
He has the best wide receiver we have ever seen in Justin Jefferson.
That's what I'm saying. Caleb Williams will be better with less weapons.
Oh, I see. I thought you flipped it. I was like, I thought you meant that
If
Caleb.
I didn't mean
okay.
to. No.
Yeah. It's okay.
Sorry,
For a second there, I was wondering which Bears receiver you were going to say. I was like, the best receiver we've ever seen? Like, who is it?
Luther Burden.
Bears
What do you mean?
receiver.
Luther Burden.
Yeah.
Who's Justin Jefferson?
No idea. Never heard of him.
I have nothing else to add. I had to get one nice thing about the Bears in the entire thing, and there was.
Okay. All right. So this question, there's going to be this next question, and then the next question, I'm going to force you to say something negative about the Bears.
Okay.
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 Okay. So this next question though is, what is the biggest strength of this Bears team?
Depth. We have depth in every position that the football is centered around. You got quarterback, you got wide receiver, you got running back, you got safety, you got DBs, you got anything. We have depth in every single position that you need to operate a football team, and we have the best depth chart in the NFC North. So I know the dogfight is a thing, but we have depth at every position, and that will lead to the success of this team.
Okay. So the next question is, if there was one thing that's going to hold the Bears back this year, what is that going to be? So in other words, what is the biggest weakness of this Bears team?
Inconsistency at the O-line. That has always been a problem for the Chicago Bears in the years that we've had this franchise. The inconsistentness of a freaking O-line it's always a thing. It's always something that will linger around, and we made several improvements this year. We improved the trenches like no other. We spent so much money on Dahlman, everybody. But one position that's still up in the air up until today, at this current moment, is our left tackle. Like Braxton Jones is. I love Braxton. I have a lot of hope for him. I've had a lot of hope for him, but his injury and his lack of kind of reading where a defender is going to go has continued to linger up until camp and now preseason. We saw it against the Bills. He completely crossed himself up on a route from the edge rusher, and I was just blown away because I had so much, anticipation for him. And we got Ozzy Trapelo. He's really good. He's a massive guy coming from, I've seen him at camp. Like, he is a giant, enormous human being.
Isn't he like
Again,
6'8"?
yeah, he is massive. He was standing next to Caleb, and I was like, holy crap, like, this is a big difference. He's very intimidating. He's a good defender. He, again, is a rookie. I don't want to throw a rookie into a massive show on Monday Night Football, and he's someone that we have to develop over time. He's going to be good, but I think the lack of inconsistentness at the O-line will continue to bite us, and if they can figure out what we're doing up front, then Caleb will have the success. But if it comes down to one thing that holds us back, it's gonna be that O-line.
All right. So got just a couple more questions here for you.
Yeah.
So this next one is, which team in the NFC North is the biggest threat to the Bears this year?
None. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'll say the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions, everybody was really, even myself, when Aaron Glenn left and Ben Johnson left, of course, you lose two of your top coordinators. And Ben Johnson took players and coordinators from the Detroit Lions with him to Chicago. But overall, they have gotten the pieces that they need, and they still have Dan Campbell, which is, respect to him. He's a great coach of men. He's full of grit and he's full of attitude, and that's what you need in a coach. Again, the Detroit Lions have every position that you need, and they have a 1A position at that. You got Hutch, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, you got Demont, you got Goff, you got Amon-Ra, you have Jamison Williams. Like, I can go on and on. They have a lot of good players, not only on the offense, but on the defensive side of the ball too. And I think the Bears and Lions hate each other the least out of that entire division. So I'll give them, their flowers. But again, if I had to choose, I would choose nobody. But if I'm forced to choose, I'll choose the Detroit Lions.
Okay. I would agree with you. I also think it's the Lions because, everybody talks about, like you mentioned, they lost their coordinators, but they still have a lot of the same key players on that team.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have the players who are actually the ones out on the field doing the work, like getting the job done. And so you have those players who have that experience getting to where they've gone. And so I agree. I think it's the Lions as well.
Yeah.
All right. So my last official question for you, it's not really a question, but we're going to do a game-by-game win-loss prediction for the Bears.
Will's getting his hands ready. He's like, let's go. Let's hear this.
I mean, you've already said 17-0 and 12-5, so I'm not going to be surprised here.
I want you to preface how you're grading these so that the audience, so that chat knows.
Yeah, I've seen the
what we're
chat
going
already.
off of
Let's just
here.
be honest about it.
Let's do it.
All right, so game-by-game win-loss prediction for the Bears. So we'll start with Week 1, home versus the Vikings.
W. Easy. I think no Jordan Addison, under the lights at Soldier Field, Monday Night Football, primetime game. We're gonna be. It's gonna be a bloodbath. No Jordan Addison. JJ McCarthy is gonna get annihilated by Montez Sweat. So that's 1-0 right there.
I agree with most of what you just said.
All right, Week 2 at the Lions.
You can say it. There's no shame in it.
I'll give the Lions this one. I'll give the Lions this first game at Ford Field. I think the crowd is going to be showing up, and they will be booing very loudly. It will be a dogfight, but I do think the Lions, out of all bias, I do think the Lions take this one at home.
Okay. Week 3, home versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my God, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 50-0. Easy W. I would hope that the Cowboys forfeit this game because it's going to be that bad of a game. Like, these are the most expensive tickets for a home game is that Cowboys game. For what reason, I don't know why people are going to go pay to see Dakota Prescott, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is a complete bloodbath and Jerry Jones is watching in the suite and just nodding his head.
Yeah, that's a big reason we're not going to see the Cowboys in Vegas because the tickets were like 3 times as much. Like, for
I don't
what?
get it. You guys
For
travel
what?
well, I get that, but oh my God, like that well? Jeez.
Yeah, we're actually going to go see the Raiders and Jaguars instead of
My
the
God.
Raiders and
They're
Cowboys.
actually paying
Super
us
Bowl
to go see
Super Bowl
the
matchup
game.
right there.
That's a
we're
crazy
actually
matchup.
being paid to go see that one. Yeah.
Who's a Raiders starting quarterback? Like, can someone who is that?
Geno Smith.
Gino.
I couldn't even name him, man. But yeah, I couldn't even name it.
All right. Speaking of the Raiders, week 4 at the Raiders.
Yeah, again, like a bloodbath. W, easy. What do we have? 3-1, easy.
Yeah. So we're at win, loss, win, win.
Yep.
All right. So week 5 is a bye. So week
So
6
early.
at the Commanders.
I was supposed to go to this game, man. I know Commanders fans are probably like, oh my God, Commanders are wearing these black jerseys. I hope everybody, if you're listening to this, yeah, Commanders are wearing their little black diva uniforms, their black uniforms, whatever. I do think we will be getting our revenge in Washington, and it will be a good game. All respect to Jaden Daniels, he's generational just as much as Caleb is. Caleb is more, but whatever. It'll be a good game, and it is my birthday weekend, and so I would love to see W. So I'm gonna give him a close matchup. I'm gonna say it's like 1-2 point game. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it ends off on a game winning field goal instead of a game winning Hail Mary, which I don't want to ever see or hear about. But I do think Cairo comes down, and it's gonna be like a game winning sort of situation. But I think the Bears take this one in a very close match.
Okay. All right. Week 7, home versus the Saints. We all know this is a loss, so you can just admit it.
Yeah, I think the Saints are gonna kill us for sure. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think
Tyler Shook.
All right. I'll
I
pencil
think-
in a win right there.
That's a
Don't
W,
even
man.
care.
I can't name the Saints quarterback. Like they haven't. I mean, everybody's basically named their starting quarterback besides the Saints. I'll be happy to see Alvin Kamara. I hope he does well because I have him in a fantasy league, but it's not going to be close.
All right. Week 8 at the Ravens.
That's going to be an L. It's going to be an L. I'll be up front. Lamar, it's going to be it's going to be a
impressed.
lot. It's going to be a lot. Lamar is Lamar. He's the MVP of this league, one of the best quarterbacks this whole generation. So he's they're gonna kill us. Not kill us. I take that back. They will do really well against us.
All right. Week 9 at the Bengals.
I think I'm going to this game, honestly.
Baltimore, then at Cincinnati, back-to-back weeks.
I don't know what they want. Like they just I don't know.
That's rough.
ridiculous. Yeah, I think that'll be an L too. I think back-to-back weeks, traveling on a short week, not being home, away from home, and having to play in 2 very rowdy cities and with rowdy, thirsty fan bases. It's gonna be a good game, Burrow and Caleb. But I think that might be a loss for my book.
Okay. Week 10 at home versus the Giants.
That's gonna be a W again. Russell Wilson. If he's even starting by then, I really hope he is, but I don't. Jackson
Joel,
Dart
put
or
it-
whatever. Dart.
Joel, put it on the sheet. I think Russell Wilson will not be starting by that game.
Agree.
November 9th?
Put it
No,
on
it'll be
the- put it
Jackson
on the
Dart.
predictions.
So
Dart will take.
if Jackson Dart is starting week 10 versus the Bears, are the Giants winning?
Shiver me timbers, Jackson Dart. Wow. Big difference from Russell Wilson.
Bearden is on board with where we're at.
Jackson Dart is my
Jackson
goat,
Dart.
okay? Jackson Dart is my goat.
Yeah. I think he makes a big difference for Malik Neighbors and whoever the hell their running back is, but no, that's not even close. The Bears
Cam
are too
Scatterbo?
much for. Let's go, Scatterboo. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not going to be close.
He's going to be the new Daniel Jones,
Oh,
the new Zach Wilson.
new Zach Wilson. They're all going to get recycled over and over and over again.
All right, week 11 at the Vikings.
That'll be a W again.
All right, week 12 at home versus the Steelers.
Oh, easy W. I want to see Aaron Rodgers be back at that field, and I want him to get blown up. Don't take
But-
it wrong, but I want him to get annihilated.
But he owns the Bears.
I know he's according to him, he's the second owner. I don't know how he can beat our owner. Oh no,
Didn't
he's
your owner
gonna-
just die earlier this year?
rest in
Jeez.
peace? Yeah, Bridget.
Okay.
First foul, the respect on that one. Great.
Yeah, he's up
Well,
there.
I'm pretty
Avery
sure-
saved me. Avery saved me. Avery saved me. There.
But she
did
lived
that.
a long life. Like,
She's like
you can't say
104
no one
years.
can say she was taken from us too early.
No, she's
102.
100 Yeah, she was alive for a very long time. So
Okay, Subat, you won't be alive to see the Bears win the Super Bowl this year.
no, but we're doing it for her this year because we got that big old patch right here too, remembering her. So
Also,
All right.
Joel, you put a spreadsheet. That will be Will Howard starting by then. Aaron Rodgers will be dust by that point of the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if every bone is broken in his body by then. So,
He'll
but
take
I
a
want him
dump-
to play against the Bears. I want him to
take a-
play. I pray that my Bears defense gives him a good homage to never come back to Soldier Field. So.
What would happen? What would happen if that was the last game he played? He plays there, loses, and like gets carted off or whatever, just doesn't come back. That's like his tombstone is at Soldier
Dude,
Field.
every Bears fan.
He can never say it. Yeah, he can never say that he owns us
Yeah.
or
That would
he can
be
never
iconic
speak
for
upon
Bears.
us.
Yeah.
That would be iconic for Bears fans.
Yeah. Oh my
Every
God.
Bears fan would put a picture of him walking up the field sad right next to their tissue box and lotion on their nightstand for every night.
I just want to say, and I'm bringing basketball back into this, that would be just like if when Carolina beat Coach K on
Yeah.
his home court
Yeah.
for the last game and then faced them in the Final Four for the first time they had ever matched up in tournament history and beat them.
Mm.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Any Austin Rivers
No.
buzzer beater, irrelevant now. Irrelevant.
Nothing matters. Up until just that moment matters, and that's what I
Oh.
want. I want that same exact thing.
Oh, I can
for
feel
him
it
to
now.
come- I
can
want it.
feel
I
that.
want it. I want it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Avery can't stand up.
I
yet.
think Bears fans would shriek. I think if that ever happened, I think everybody would just rampage onto the field and just rejoice with joy, dude.
The king is dead.
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay, week 13 at the Eagles.
Yeah,
It's
had
no.
a little fun. Now we're not there, huh?
All right.
I think that's
and then week 14 at Green Bay.
W. I'll give him this one. I'll say we take this one. We're 1-0 already. I hope every Packers fan, we are 1-0 in 2025 versus that sorry team, and it's only going to continue to go up. We are not. Jordan Love is nothing but a fluke. He's nothing but a product of his Matt LaFleur, and he's already injured right now. And if he continues to have this injury problem, oh my God, we're gonna have a field day versus this kid if he can't stay healthy. So,
All right. Week 15 at home versus the Browns.
you guys can guess this one from me.
All right, that's an
W.
L.
Yep. No.
Which Browns quarterback do you think will be starting by that point this season?
Shador.
They'll be on their
Really?
6th quarterback by then.
Yeah. Shador though.
I think it'll be Kirk Cousins.
It's a good one.
Not even on the Browns currently.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
Not the most quarterbacks, but I think.
Yeah,
it
I
would
wouldn't be
someone
mad- I
else. Like,
wouldn't-
honestly, maybe, yeah.
And
I
the worst
wouldn't, I
part
wouldn't
is
be
you all
surprised
were
if he got
like,
shipped out.
I was like, actually, that's not a bad.
Yeah, we can see that.
that kind of fits.
Oh,
Kirk Cousins is the ultimate substitute teacher quarterback in the NFL.
dude. Oh
Just
my
like bring in
God.
Kirk, he's pretty good. It's like,
I
he's not
actually
great,
think-
but he's pretty
He'll
good.
be, he'll be around some way somehow. Just get his agent on the phone. He'll come around.
He could play.
All right, week 16 at home versus the Packers.
W.
All right, week 17 is at 49ers.
And it might be an L. All these road teams have especially the 49ers have a very loud Levi Stadium, and they're thirsty for their little Brock Purdy, whatever diva quarterback that they got up there. But I think their defense will hold it down for them.
All right, and then they finish the season week 18 at home versus the Lions.
I think this is a W.
For
Okay.
the division, possibly for the division.
Yeah,
what you're
because the
talking
Lions
about.
have subbed out all their starters because they're
the
16 and 16
The
and 0.
excuse book. Avery's got a big old book of excuses right here.
It's like when the Broncos beat the Chiefs or whoever it was when they had all their players out. Like, look at that, they beat the Chiefs. Like, they beat their practice squad.
Practice
Congratulations.
squad. Yeah, that's it for me.
What was that record?
12-5.
So that was 13-4.
Even better.
Oh,
13-4. That's the ceiling. That's as high as it gets. That's as high as it gets.
All right, 13-4, winning the division and winning the Super Bowl.
Winning the Super Bowl this year, market 2025, 2026. The Chicago Bears are Super Bowl champions. Come back to me in January.
Wait, would that win the division if the Lions
Yes.
win out except for
13-4?
the last one?
I think that wins out the division.
and if the
Even
Lions,
if the Lions go undefeated except for that one loss, because that would put them tied with you.
They're not going undefeated. They're not.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean if you have the most division wins, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're winning the division because it is off your other wins and losses as well.
record.
Got it,
I think it's based on record.
Like somehow the Packers they made the playoffs when they were 1-5 in their division last
Yeah.
year.
Jeez.
1-5 is
So-
crazy. 1-5 is crazy. And that one win, I think, came out of our illegal block. Was this last year? Were they 1-5 last year?
Yeah.
That, by the way, for anybody listening to this, and if you clip this, that one Packers win came off an illegal block against the Chicago Bears. And so I just want everybody to know that. It was illegal, but, we can give them that one win. And
What-
it's
what
so
was
funny
illegal
because I was
about it?
right in front of that. I was right in front of that pylon, too. I saw it get blocked in front of my eyes. I was right at that pylon where
There's
that,
two holds every play. There's illegal plays every play.
what was illegal about the block?
Where how far back are you in your Skeef's book right now?
Patrick Mahomes was there and he wanted the Packers to win, so the referees just said, "Okay, we'll
Yep.
give it to the Packers."
Yeah, like illegal flags, everything. Everything was put away. No flags. Nothing was thrown. Just because Patrick Mahomes made the call, he was there.
All right. Well, that's all the questions that we have for you. But
Yeah.
I want you to do one last thing for us before we sign off here. I want you to send a message to all the Bears fans out there as to why they should be optimistic this season with the Chicago Bears.
I will say it again, and every Bears fans knows this. The vibes, the culture, the environment that we have is something that we've never seen before. It is different. It is a culture shock. It is a culture change, and we have every piece to be successful, and we will be successful. We just need to get together every week and just keep supporting and keep grinding. We will be winning the Super Bowl. Just stay optimistic, stay happy. We have Ben Johnson. If you can't sleep at night, just remember you have Ben Johnson as a head coach, and most people and most teams cannot say that. So that's that.
We're going to end up
All right.
harvesting this episode for a lot of clips by the end of the season.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You're
gonna get-
on my feed.
You're gonna get shredded every
Oh,
time the
great.
Bears lose. That's a win, 25-0. Sure.
All the Packers fans are going to flood in.
I have. Dude, I hope they have nothing. They will have nothing to say because their quarterback is a fluke and injury-prone quarterback. So
I'm excited
All
to see it.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you to Bear Den Live for joining us and for talking about Will's favorite team, the Chicago Bears. We appreciate We appreciate you coming on. It was fun to talk Chicago Bears with you. Thank you again. And if you guys are listening, please go follow Bear Den Live on his social media pages. And as always, don't forget to keep your balls played with. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Also, Mark Davis' haircut still sucks.